MGTOW is men going their own way. So
what does that even?
So
you can go your own way.
So MGTOW is, let's say there's a spectrum, right?
Okay.
And in the middle is like the balanced perspective. You want to be the most balanced possible. Far left is like male feminist, the guy at the rally with the pussy hat on.
Do you honestly believe I'm like
no,
that?
but
because this is my thing. Like people believe that I'm this like the guy with the pussy hat on.
Yeah.
When all I say, I'm like, just don't. Why do you have to be a dick about it? Like a lot of this feels like I'm the victim. Being a man is so hard. Women, they just are. I have to be. I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Like, don't be a dick to women. Just be the best version of yourself. Don't be a dick to anyone. And that's it. And like, it's not. I feel like a lot of the red pill is also like, it's like very pessimistic. Like,
and so
it's like I'm just being a realist, but everything is pessimism. There's no light.
I love that, because going back to that, to me, it goes. I asked Robert Greene of the 48 Laws of Power. I asked him a question. I said, from all your research, from all your understanding, from all the things that you've done, do you believe most human beings have good intentions and occasionally do bad things, or do most human beings have bad intentions and occasionally do good things? Robert Greene told me he believes most human beings have good intentions and occasionally do bad things. What do you believe?
I agree with that. I think that most people have good intentions and they'll occasionally do some bad things. And obviously there's a few bad apples. And I think there was a stat that 95% this was a former CIA, FBI operative. He came into Valuetainment. He said, well, 95% of the world does do good things, wants to do good things. But then the 5%, but if you take 5% of 8 billion people,
100%.
And that's, quick math, a couple 100 million, it's like, that's why you got so many fucking crazy people out there.
And I mean, I totally agree with that. I think most people do good things and or have good intentions and occasionally do bad things, but then those good intentions are subjective, right? Because I think, take the example with Putin right now. He thinks he's doing a good thing. Yeah. The entire world is like, dude, he can fucking invade a country, but he's doing, I got to do it for Russia.
Yeah. Do you disagree with Robert Greene?
I agree with him.
Okay.
And so I asked him, is this true for men? And is this true for women? He said, yes. So it goes back to that framework. What do you believe the other person's intentions are? So one of my biggest criticisms of the red pill movement happened because most people don't know this about the podcast, is that I try to be as balanced as possible. I try to get far right and far left. I want Roland Martin. I want Umar Johnson. I also want Candace Owens. I want everybody. I want to learn from everybody.
Of course.
And so I got some guys who people consider like the opposite of red pill. I interviewed them.
What is that? That's blue pill? What does that consider?
Yeah, they would consider these guys blue pill men. I don't consider them that, but the internet would consider them that.
So what's blue
So
pill?
basically, the concept of blue pill is going back to the Matrix. Is like you're oblivious to the truth and you're living in a lie. So so like basically,
you just want to feel secure. You don't want to have bad things happen to you. You don't want the harshness of the real world to take over.
So like basically, a person who would quote unquote be blue pill is a person who's naive to the realities of life. They think women are these perfect angels, and if you just love them just enough, every woman will love you equally, right?
That's not it either.
It's neither, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna explain to you the criticism because I hope I'll answer your question. So I went on tour with 3 of the biggest dating coaches in the world, and I was a camera guy. I went on tour with 3 of the biggest dating coaches in the world. Who were they? It was Derek Jackson, the guy red pill guys hate. They really hate this guy. My mentor, Stefan Labossiere, is a beast, and another guy they don't really like named Ace Metaphor. I went on tour with these 3 guys. And on this tour, it was 95% women. And we would go to these venues, thousands of women. Atlanta, Miami, New York. Man, it's fun. And I sat and I was a camera guy. And at the end of each show, they would do a Q&A. And they would do this Q&A and they would get these women to talk about their issues and ask the guys questions. And during this time is when I learned the most about women. Because I was actually meeting, not online, not reading a book, not watching a bunch of guys bringing girls that they've chosen and curated. I just met thousands of different women and got to hear them all talk. And I would hear them talk about things about men. And you would hear these generalizations. All men cheat. Men are liars. Why do men do this? And you would hear them complain. And then you'll see a woman who's respectfully like 350 pounds and was like, where are all the good guys at? All I find is guys who want to have sex with me. The men are not serious. And it's like, well, maybe if you got in your best shape and you got physically fit, you could change your outcome.
This is radical accountability.
Radical accountability. So I would talk about radical. So I would see all these things, and I would be like, this is crazy. Like, they first they would overgeneralize, then they would not take accountability. So fast forward to now I'm in the men's space, and literally the same things I heard from the women, I hear from the guys. Radical generalizations of women, usually, like David said, from a pessimistic worldview, because the truth is pessimistic.
Yeah.
The truth isn't that most women are actually good people with good intention and do bad things. The truth is most women are selfish, hypergamous people out to get you, to take half your money, to take custody of your kids from you. That's these messages that are being communicated. And then there's a lack of accountability. Well, the average women don't want average men. These girls don't want us. There's not accountability where, do you know if you put in the work for the next 5 years to become your best version of yourself, you would no longer be average. 3 years. If you put in 3 years of work, you would no longer be average. So that whole sentence wouldn't apply to you. I would see both these things. And I would see how bitter and hurt the women were. Because the reason you're so emotional is because you were bitter and you were hurt by a guy. That's what causes generalizations. These women were hurt by men. They become bitter. Then they generalize. And then I saw the guys the same thing. Guys would call me. Guys would call me in. And I will see a lot of these guys are hurt. When your girlfriend cheated on you, how do you feel? You're hurt. When your wife divorced you, took your money, how do you feel? You're hurt. When your baby mama took away custody of your children, you're paying child support, how do you feel? You're hurt. When the girl of your dreams told you that you're an ugly loser, I'll never be with you, how do you feel? You're hurt. The guys are hurt, and I called it for what it was.
And they're acting emotional, not logical. Is that basically what you're saying?
I'm not saying yes, but my main point was that they got offended when I said they were hurt.
Yeah.
When you are hurt.
Yeah.
And they take it like it's a sign of weakness as a man to be hurt. I've been hurt. You've been hurt. We've all been hurt. There's nothing wrong with a man being hurt. I'm just calling it for what it is. And so to me, like I said, the problem with all these things is at the end of the day, my goal is that if any man is listening to this message, if they take anything from what we communicated, if you simply view the opposite gender as the villain and you the victim, you will never win. Exactly. You will never win. Wow. It's just impossible because think about it. Imagine there's a woman who views men as the villain and she's a victim. Would a man of character, would a man of integrity, would a man of sensibility want to be with her? No, she would be too negative. He won't want to stay with her for long. Yeah. So the same thing is true as a man. And also, if you are a man, instead of simply being bitter, if you want to be better, put in the work to become the best version of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. If you commit to that for 3 years of your life, see what happens to your outcomes.
Compound interest effect.
Literally.